What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about a lot of things today. I'm going to go over a few requests, depending on how this goes. You know, it's my first live stream that I've done in a while. Depending on how this goes, we might have some requests rolling in on the comments. I'm actually going to real quick go to YouTube here and get this live stream rolling so I can send it to the Discord. Let me see real quick. Hold on. One moment. I'm sure there's no one in right now, so it won't really matter anyways. There we are. Let's share this to the Discord. Discord. Good. General on the wheelhouse. There we go. Alright. Benji is in. Hell yeah, Benji. Alright, and I'm leaving the live chat open. There we go. Cool. Alright, ready to roll. I've got a few things that I want to talk about today, actually. There's, let's see, we've got a few requests. What was the first one? Let me see. The most recent one. Maybe not the most recent, but of the recent ones, the oldest. Let's see. We're going to be talking about, let's see, what is it? I feel like, why can't I see it? There we go. We're going to talk about storage for Mr. Peter Davies. And we're also going to talk about, what is it? VAI, Voight? I don't know, VAI for Mr. Geek USA. And then we'll go from there. Maybe I have some requests on the Discord as well. Just figuring things out real quick. We're going to start off with Bluezell, though. We'll start off with Bluezell, and then we'll move on to some other things. Okay, you guys, I'm at right now, let's see. I'm at, where are we at here? Looking things up. I'm at 995 subscribers. 996 subscribers. If I do this stream long enough, can I get 4 new subscribers during this stream? That'd be really cool. I doubt it. You know, I think most of the time I get subscribers after the streams, not during the streams. The people that watch these streams are probably already subscribed, but who knows? You know, I put it in the title because hopefully we can see it happen live. But anyways, without any further ado, let's actually get into this little known thing we call TA here. I see I got 4 people in the chat. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for coming. We're going to do some analysis on various cryptos today and maybe talk about some other things too. Thank you, Vinny. I appreciate you, man. I'm almost there. We're almost there. But if any of the new 4 people are here and you'd like to subscribe, maybe you're testing the waters. You're dipping your toes. You want to see how far this goes. Well, let's start off with Bluezell. You know, I want to do the overall rendition, and then I'll give the more immediate kind of price analysis. With Bluezell, what's going on, says Cedar Die. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys. If you want to hit the like button, that's cool. You know, if not, that's okay too. It won't make too much of a difference. I mean, I do appreciate all the likes, but it's not like, you know, it's not going to make or break it right now. We're just here to do some TA and looking at the BLZ. What was it that I wanted to go over? Oh, right. Okay, so we're on the all-time history chart here for Bluezell. You know, this is on TradingView. As far as I'm concerned, this is the most historical data that I can find. And if you're looking at this thing, if you guys are familiar with my talks on Bluezell, I've done this. I've gone over this before, where I identify this humongous spike in volume that we had coming out of the all-time lows, the previous cycle lows, the first bear market that it went through. This immense volume that took us all the way up here after the lows here. And over here, it doesn't look like we're experiencing all that much volume. Yes, it's a lot relative to this, but this doesn't tell the whole story. If we look at this on a monthly basis, and we go out and we see how much volume we have on this, the highest peak, that was 1.34 billion Bluezells traded that month. Now this is the all-time history chart, right? This is the most history that we have. There's one with a little less history, but it's got more volume on it, BLZ USDT. So it doesn't have the all-time low. It missed the last cycle. This is a newer chart on Binance still. You know, Binance is the biggest crypto exchange in the world. The USDT pairing on Binance for any crypto tends to be the most heavily traded pairing out of any exchange anywhere. So with that in mind, looking at this volume, again over here, This volume is at 7.986 billion. Again, coming out of the cycle lows, we're seeing this kind of reaction in volume with the price going up. But this is 7.986 billion Blue Zells traded that month, where previously here, the most that we saw was 1.34. So the most volume, it's arguable to say the most volume that we've ever seen came out of the last cycle's low and this cycle's low, right? I mean, definitely the most volume came out of this one right here for sure. But all the volume we see is coming out of the lows. The last time that we saw anything like this, we had a tremendous reaction upwards. Oh, it froze and it's back. Okay, sorry. Thank you. Keep me updated if that happens. I'll try to be paying attention a little bit more. Thank you, Big Ben. I appreciate you, man. Oh, I won't. I definitely won't forget any of you, man. I will remember the OGs, man. I want to do. I need to like take a screenshot of everyone who's in the Discord. I mean, I'll remember you guys just because I interact with you guys. You know, I have a pretty good memory. I won't forget that way. But I don't know, man. Who knows how big this channel is going to get? But 1,000 is definitely a huge mile marker. I won't forget any of the OGs. Thank you guys for being here, man. I don't know if I'm at 1,000 yet, but you're saying congrats on 1,000. So let's just pretend that I am, and we'll get there. But back to the TA guys. The most volume we've ever seen for Blue Zell historically has come out of the lows. Now, it's only had 2 bear markets, only 2 cycle lows, so it's not a whole lot of iterations to base it off of. But if we look, again, just going over that, how much volume we've got now, we can keep that in mind while looking at the all-time history chart for this thing. Oh, that's on Kraken. Sorry, not Kraken. Binance. There we go. You know, it doesn't look like we have volume, but just imagine immensely more volume than this, like 5 times bigger than that, right? Because that's what we got on the USDT pair. The last time we saw from low to high, we saw an increase of 11,000%. That's a 101x. I think I've been calling this a 1,000x, but I'm pretty sure that that's not true, because a 1,000% growth would be a 10x, and 11,000% growth would be 110x technically, I think. Yeah, 111x, something like that. So I did my math wrong. If ever in any videos I've called this 1,000x, I was wrong. But still, 111x from low to high. If we were to take that same kind of idea and take it to this low here, like right to that low, something like that, right? That would take us to new all-time highs, and I don't think it's going to stop there. But just for reference sake, that would put us at a price right around $4.80, somewhere in there. If we took this high to this low, that puts us in between the 1272 and the 1414, right in the area. That would be like an expected extension. We could absolutely go higher. This thing, you know, it could go all the way up to the 1618. It could go up to the 1886. It could even move all the way up to the, or maybe it can't move all the way up to the 1272 or 2272. Maybe not that high. That's pretty high. But definitely somewhere above here. You know, I do have a $100 price prediction for Blue Zell, and it's sitting at 27.5 cents right now. I don't know how likely that is. You know, it's definitely a possibility. But of the more like likely estimates, I would think that this thing has a 100x in it. It definitely even could have a 1000x in its bag. If we look at the market cap overall for Blue Zell, BLZ on here, we're number 225 in the listings. You're at 118 million. If you were to see a 1000x on a $118 million market cap, that's basically fully diluted, right? It's essentially fully diluted. A 10x would be 1 billion. A 100x would be 10 billion, and a 1000x would be 118 billion dollars. That's a very high market cap. Not most cryptos break that 100 billion dollar market cap, but it is possible. It is achievable. And for anybody that's been holding on to Blue Zell since before these pump weeks here, maybe you bought all the way down at 11 cents. Maybe you bought before then. The odds of you seeing a 1000x just go up that much more because you bought at half the price. Let's see here. I'm in that piece. This Discord is real good, bro. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I like everybody in the Discord, man. You guys are awesome. I left a link in the description if you'd like to join it if you're new here. It's pretty cool. You guys, you know, I think we're all like similar, maybe not similar minded, but we have similar goals, right? And it's a pretty chill group. Some people like to talk trash on there, and that's okay too. You know, there's not really any rules. Just Don't be an absolute piece of shit. You can be a dick. That's okay. You can be a dick or whatever. You can be the nice guy. I don't care. Do whatever you want, but don't, there's certain lines we don't cross, and nobody's really crossed those lines. So anyways, I'm getting off track here, man. I'm getting really off track. If you bought below here, if you bought any time before this, your odds of seeing a 1000x on Blue Zell are just up that much more. From here it is still possible, but a $118 billion market cap is a very hard accomplishment to achieve. Only a handful of cryptos have done it. What makes Blue Zell worthy of this, in my opinion, is that it's been through 2 bear markets. It's not only been through 2 bear markets, but it's held higher lows. It's had tremendous volume coming out of its previous low. And from the current low that we just had here, it doesn't show it here, but as I went over before, we have even more, literally like 5 times the amount of volume that we saw back here. So a lot more interest. The moves, this move that we've had off the lows is some of the most bullish that we've seen across the whole crypto space. Could this thing see new all-time highs in this cycle? Yes. The expected move, again, would take you somewhere around, anywhere from $2.85 to $15, something like that. Just from this, actually a little bit higher. Just from this fib perspective alone, about $3 to $16. But you could go even higher than that. We're at 27.5 cents right now. A price at $2.75 would be a 100x. So definitely capable of multiple hundreds of x's. I do think it will at least achieve a 100x from this current price because, the 1272 is already above that, and that would be the expected area to go. If you see here from top to bottom, and the reason I'm not using this top is because on a daily perspective, that was like the first day mania. So I'm going to use this top. This was the highest high after the first day. You can see that we've relatively respected this fib like all the way through. You found a little bit of resistance in the sweet spot, the white zone here. You came down, didn't really find support necessarily anywhere, but you did find resistance and support on your 618 again, and then here a little bit of resistance, here's some support on your 0.5. We are having a very positive reaction with the 618. We came down, bounced off of it. We even, if you take this low here to this high, that's also the 382. Man, I really should have bought down there, guys. I'm kicking myself in the butt. I even said that it could go up from here, but I was waiting. I was a little bit greedy. I did think that we were going to see prices below 10 cents, but we did not get that. Here we are wrestling with the 786, and after battling with the 618 for so long, because you've been battling it since July of 2020, you just had a positive reaction. It's no surprise that you're going to find some turbulence at your 786, probably at your 886. But when we get a positive reaction, if we get above the 886 like we did the 618 here, we get a positive reaction, we come down and find support, the next stop, no shit, is going to be this 1272. And I think we're well on our way to doing stuff like that right now, man. Maybe we have a more dramatic break, a kind of consolidation phase before the halving or something like that, and then have our final break up to new all-time highs. I do expect this move from bottom to top, I do expect it to be bigger than this move. But how much bigger, that's the question. I do, again, expect that we're going to see a 100x from the current price. This total move was a 111x. We've already done this much growth. I still expect a 100x from the current price at a minimum. Let's see here. So yeah, man. If you don't know about Blue Zell, it's a data storage blockchain, right? That's what originally they came out saying they wanted to be the Oracle of crypto. For those of you that don't know, Oracle is one of the biggest data storage companies in the world, and that was Blue Zell's like mission statement, right? To be like the Oracle of blockchain. I don't know if they'd always planned on going to gaming, but they've shifted. They've definitely made a more intense focus on gaming, and I think that just makes so much sense, man. Like, you're going to need a lot of data storage if you're doing gaming, stuff like that. And I think gaming has, there's a lot of potential in gaming. It's definitely a profitable market in the future. I think it's just becoming big. It's going to get bigger as time goes on because we have a whole generation that literally grew up with gaming, people that recognize it as something that can literally be a profession, right? Where before, back in the day, it was just a hobby. You were silly if you spent too much time on it. And you're still pretty silly if you spend too much time, but you can make a living off of gaming. So anyways, it's involved with an up-and-coming kind of niche Niche, it's been around since 2018, man. I think it's even been around since before 2018. It's been through 2 bear markets while having higher lows, more volume over here than there was over here. Interest is definitely growing. I think this is going to be a top contender in this market. Chainlink's called an oracle, huh? I don't know what I would call Chainlink, man. I think it's a titan. It's definitely, I mean, it could be, I don't, oh wait, let's see. You deleted it. Chainlink also called Oracle. I could believe that, but I don't know, man. Let's see. Let's look at this thing right now. Chainlink's one of the more bullish charts in crypto as well. Look at this, man. Just beautiful, like, what's it called? Wyckoff, right? This looks to me, I don't know anything about Wyckoff, really, but from what I've seen in like previous markets, like this could be like a Wyckoff accumulation phase. Correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I'm wrong. Again, I don't know too much, but when you see this kind of general movement sideways and you get like your low, it's a fake out, and then you move up from there, like all in all, this is just a long period of accumulation. You know, whether or not it's Wyckoff or not, it's definitely an accumulation phase. We'll talk about PLI, sure. Going to be the Oracle of XDC. Oh, sweet. Okay, I didn't know PLI was involved with XDC. That's good to know. Oh, man. I'm glad we're talking about Chainlink, man. I don't normally talk about Chainlink, but I know you didn't request it, Secede or Die, but what's up, Apache Garage? Thanks, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you for being here, man. I got the OGs with me. I feel really good about that. Looking at this here, again, having a very fantastic move out of this accumulation zone. I think it's just getting started. Maybe you pull back from here. Maybe Chainlink pulls back from here. Top to bottom, let's see. Yeah, you're at your 1272, 1414 area. You're also at this purple line. It wouldn't be crazy if you pulled back from here. You could, generally, you're at $12 right now. You could pull back all the way to about $8.75. Pull back to your 886. Maybe you pull back to the top of this line, which is less common, but that is a previous area of resistance on your price, somewhere around like $9.60, but you could drop about a whole dollar lower. It's pretty common when you hit these extensions, if you pull back and you don't continue up to your 1618, even if you hit your 1618, whenever you retrace, it's very common to go to your 886, find support there, and then continue higher. You know, so look for that. It's definitely a possibility, but man, it doesn't have to stop here. It could keep growing. Let's see, looking at this thing, very strong looking RSI. I mean, man, the last time you were overbought like this, let's see, you got in right here. I mean, it didn't have that much of a pullback, did it? I guess it did. Okay, looking at this on the weekly, you did see from open to low, you did see a 30, or is that a 26? 26% drop. And a 26% drop, just to put it in perspective from here, would take you right around, man, right around the tops here, right around there. So maybe you do, instead of pulling back to your 886, maybe you pull back to your 100 level, something like that. It really could be around $9.50 that you pull back to, but maybe you don't. Maybe you just continue to go higher. But again, you got into your overbought zone here, and you just continue to climb. You had this initial pop like you do now, but you continued to climb upwards afterwards without having like a notable retracement until you hit your high. You go back further right, you're out of your overbought zone for a little bit, hit it, and when you were first in it was here. You had a little bit of turbulence, and then you just continue to go higher again. So comparing it to both of these moves, I think that Chainlink definitely has some more room to run. Maybe it runs up to close the year out, runs up, you're at $12 now, maybe you run up 100%, maybe even a little bit more, and then the months preceding the halving, you kind of consolidate, you move down, whatever, and then later on, halfway through the bull market, or a little bit like after like the main part of the bull market started, you're going to go on to form your new highs. But you haven't been overbought in a while. You were in this accumulation zone. You broke out of it. Nice volume, nice readings. It definitely seems legit to me. If you were to pull back, I doubt you're going to go too much lower than about 950. So that's all I got for Chainlink. I do want to go back to Blue Zell real quick, because I do think it's going to go down, guys. I do think that we have a little bit of a pullback to go from here. It just looks like it wants to, man. We had some bearish divergence on the daily. We have some bearish divergence on the weekly. It's not confirmed on the weekly yet, though I would say that on the daily it is confirmed. and this would at least take us, the idea would be back to about 24 cents. On the weekly, if we move down there, the weekly I think would be confirmed as bearish divergence as well, and that would actually promote the idea that we go down to 18 cents. So just be aware, Blue Zell might be in trouble, but I do think it's going to do phenomenal things. Again, I plan on buying this thing down here. I plan on holding this thing for like a year, year and a half, toward the end of the bull market, and you know, we'll just see how it goes. But I'm expecting great things for that. Let's see. PLI, XDC is my ish. Hi, bro. Congrats. XRP seems to moon Y. We can check out XRP. Yeah, we can talk about it. 4 hour, 32 minutes AM. Oh, nice. It's 8:33 p.m. where I am here. You're up early. You're up early, Dairy Duke. All right, we're going to talk about, what was the next one here? PLI for Big Ben. PLI USD. Looking at this here. Plug in. Looking bullish, definitely. It's only on BitTrue, which there's good things and not good things about it. You know, not good things because it's one exchange, there's not that much exposure. Good things because it's one exchange. If other exchanges want to list it, they're going to have to buy a surplus of PLI to sell to their clients. So you tend to see these coins, these like no-name nothing coins. Not that it's a no-name nothing, but you know, probably most people in the space probably aren't paying attention to this. They start to pay attention to it after you get some kind of major rally, and the exchanges like make it known about, right? If they're going to put a lot into this coin, there, you know, there's, I'm not saying that the exchanges produce stories necessarily, but I would think that, you know, there are some crypto influencers out there who are directly involved with the exchanges. Maybe not directly, but directly too. I don't know. There's theories out there, man. But basically what I'm trying to say is the stories about this coin, it become more known about. A lot of people, where right now the regular person and the average person in crypto probably doesn't know too much about PLI. They would start to know about it more as it pumps, as the exchanges are accumulating it, buying it up, right, sending it to the moon, and then everybody's got their attention on it after it has some kind of massive move up. So this is generally a good time to get into coins like this. Whenever, you know, if you can use BitTrue, if you live in a country that allows that, if you can get on it and buy it. This isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but this is the kind of stuff that I think is more or less kind of an easy bullish call to make, because it's not on many exchanges. So when it does get listed on exchanges, again, the exchanges are the big boys in crypto, man. They have a lot of capital. So if they want your coin on the exchange, if you want their coin on the exchange, they're going to scoop it up, man. They're going to send it sky high. So just keep that in mind. You do have a nice higher low here with this volume coming in from low to high. You bounced right off your sweet spot, man. Like literally right at the sweet zone there at the 6.9. It's very common. Again, you know, I like to point this out because I think some people might think the 6.9's on there just as a joke, and it's like, man, I've seen this enough times. I've been watching and using fibs basically since I started doing TA, going on 7 years now, and I noticed that we would often have moves that went to the 618 but just a little bit past it. And at first I put 0.7, and then I'm like, oh, let's do 0.69 because it is funny. But genuinely, you guys, it does this kind of maneuver. You've seen it enough times on this channel. I've seen it enough times in my experience, man. This is a very good look. So I would think that with the way things are looking, you probably do continue higher than this high here. You're having a very nice reaction at an area that matters. What's going on, GL? How you doing, bro? Good to see you. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers, man. This is nuts. It's kind of cool. I feel like I had a rough intro to this video for anybody that was watching it. You know, it's whatever. I'm getting my bearings, but it's going more smoothly, I think, now. Let's see. Yeah, you have to work in 2 hours. Oh, man. Oh, and you have to work in 2 hours. Will be a long day. You know, I've found, Dairy Duke, if you're the type of person that whenever you go to work, whenever you do anything, if you feel like the day is just going on and on, it's a long day, get some good sleep. Get some really good sleep. I'm not even kidding you, man. Like, you might have shit to do. You might have stuff that you want to do. You might just want to chill, relax, go on your socials, go on play some video games, do whatever kind of thing to relax or reset yourself. Screw that. Get some sleep. Get like the best night's sleep you've had in a while. If you can do that, tell me if you do not notice that the next day you go to work, it actually goes by faster. Like I swear, all the slow days at work that I've ever had, they've been days that I did not sleep well, or I didn't get like a full night's sleep. The days that I'm telling you, I know, man, because I've talked to a lot of people about this. The days that were the easiest for me, and it makes sense. Like you hear it, and it's just like, well, duh. But it's like sometimes you don't think about it, and you're like, man, the day's just going on forever. But it's like you actually have a little bit of control in that. If you get some good sleep, I'm telling you, you'll notice it. The day's gonna fly by. It's gonna be a lot easier for whatever reason. Thank you, G. I appreciate you, bro. It's cool. It's pretty cool, man. I'm definitely excited. Hell yeah, man. I'm glad that's making sense. I tell that to anyone. Anytime I talk about work that, like, it just feels like the day's going on and on, I always ask them, like, did you get good sleep last night? And they oftentimes say no. Like, almost 100% of the time say no. And I noticed that within myself, so that's just a little, it's like obvious, but sometimes you need to hear the obvious things for it to be obvious, if that makes sense. I don't know. Anyways, so show some Jesus love. Vinny, we're going to talk about Jesus right now. Or maybe, hold on, I want to make sure. We're going to talk about XRP, and then we'll talk about Jesus Coin. I love Jesus Coin, man. I think it's looking good right now, by the way. Oh, PLI, by the way. Bounced off your 40. Good job. That's your bearish area of control. Having this reaction on the weekly like this, along with just a general higher low, bouncing at a critical area on the fibs as well. And, I mean, if we were to draw a line right here, you're kind of near, I mean, I guess at the closing point, you're like right at this area of support as well, so take it how you will. You know, I would think that this is probably going to go, you're on your way at least from here. You're sitting at 4.2 cents. You're at least going to go up to 5.4 cents at this 382. If not, maybe you go up to about 8 to 9 cents in a very short amount of time, like over the coming weeks. By the end of the year, this thing could genuinely be at 23 cents or higher, like maybe even at the 40 cent line. But something in these extensions by the end of the year is definitely possible. Let's see. Now we're going to talk about XRP. XRP for, who was it that mentioned it? For Derry Duke, we're going to talk about XRP. You're saying it's mooning? Mooning, why? Oh yeah, look at that. XRP's doing good, huh? 18%. It's just doing, you know, I wouldn't say it's mooning. It's being constructive, and it's stair-stepping its way up, right? It's like wiggle, wiggle, pop. And then wiggle, 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 pop. And then, you know, it's wiggling right now. It's kind of having a nice wiggle up. But I think, you know, obviously this thing wants to have an explosion upwards. You're moving up, you're marching up while having these little moves that you can't contain yourself with. You're just showing what you want to do ultimately. But, I mean, maybe this is the beginning of something bigger and better. But I would kind of think that you do kind of maintain prices in this, like, little channel here, right? Like if we were to draw, I know it doesn't necessarily make sense because I'm going to not include these big pump areas, but if you were to take this high here to like maybe this, I would say right here even, to which effect I would say we're outside of this zone right now, which is good, but also, you know, from the time that we've been in this channel, if you want to call it that, anytime you've been above it has actually been a great time to sell. So it might be a relatively good time to sell. I would expect that XRP kind of continues to march. Let's see. It's showing some strength in its RSI. You definitely could continue to move higher. It is the beginning of a new week though, so let's just see. If you turn around from here, it could look like a rejection off the overbought zone, and that would not be good. But with how constructive this RSI is, man, and this kind of looks like a nice bottom down here. I would think that you go a little bit higher. Maybe you are getting ready to move higher. If we put like another line up here, like if it was to be like a kind of parallel line to this, something like that, maybe a little bit lower. I don't know. Maybe you move up to about 87 cents. Maybe you do that over the coming weeks. Maybe by the end of the year even. You could go higher, but ultimately I think XRP is going to do great things, right? I think it's going to see new all-time highs by the end of this cycle. My expectation would be that you kind of just maintain this like march that you're doing right now until you get near these highs, and then you're going to stop marching up. You're going to like kind of squiggle. You're going to move sideways, and then you're going to have a pop. Probably around the halving is whenever you're going to see this like cease of marching forward. You're just going to consolidate, get ready for the pop. There's going to be like people saying that it's going to reject. It's going to have a retracement because it went up, but I don't think it's going to happen, man. I think it's going to move up. It's going to crawl up to this area of previous resistance, consolidate around there, maybe even a little bit higher where the all-time high close was on a monthly basis, and then have a nice pop up. That's just a kind of theory that I have. But right now, the weekly RSI does look really strong, very, very strong. The daily RSI, very strong, man. But you are overbought. You are tremendously overbought right now, sitting at 90. That's an achievement. But you know, look at how often you get up here. It's not too often, right? I mean, let's put a line literally right at it, right here, right now. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. I guess we could count that as 4 right there. 5, sure. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 times. So a little bit over a dozen times, like a dozen and a half times that you've been, maybe not even a dozen and a half, but you know, it doesn't happen often. And generally, if we look at this, what you've done with price whenever the RSI is this high, you know, you were this high last time, you came down, right? You were outside the zone, you came down. Over here, this high up, and you were at the top, right? You crawled a little bit higher, but ultimately lower is where you went. And then here again, you know, you were actually, this time you were right here, and you did continue to go higher. You formed some bearish divergence, so this one you did, but this was also the cycle high, so you had a little bit more momentum going with you, I think, where like right now we're at the beginning. I think things are a little bit slower. Here, right at the top again. Here, right at the top again. Pretty close over here and right at the top. You know, it goes back. It's right at the top, the highest point when this RSI hit this line here. So again, there are times that it's not the best time to sell, but generally speaking, and for where we are in the cycle, I would consider this a decent take profit zone. Definitely not an area to FOMO. With that being said, we could absolutely continue to climb higher from here for XRP. But again, we're right at the top of this zone, right at the area where it wouldn't be too bad to sell. I mean, don't just sell because I'm saying that. This isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. With this look, I would actually think you go a little bit higher, at least to the 618. But that isn't too far away from here. It wouldn't be crazy if you went up to your 61869. I'm pretty sure XRP loves its 786 and 886s even, so it could go a little bit higher. Form a lower high, have people worried that it's going to go down, all the bears are going to get excited, but really it's not forming a lower high, it's just marching up. I think it's going to march up. So good things for XRP. Might not be a good time to FOMO, might be a good take profit zone, but if you're looking to accumulate, I don't know if it's a good time here. Maybe wait till you revert back to this. That's not a good line, but somewhere around here. You know, you probably wig-wag, something like that. Let's see. I missed some comments here. Oh, hell yeah, G. I'm happy to hear that, man. That's awesome, bro. Solana's been kicking ass. And Chainlink, I haven't been looking at Chainlink that much, but just looking at it now, it's been doing good too. So you got to be feeling pretty happy with that. Are you still in Matic? I know you liked Matic a lot, and I think, let me see, has Matic been doing? We're gonna look at Jesus Coin in a second, I promise. But yeah, Matic's been doing good too, man. Holy shit. From this low, the past like month, you're up, yeah, pretty nice, man. 41% in about 3 weeks' time, because we're at the beginning of this week here, so not even a month. 41% on a very top tier coin. Nice bottom. This is what they call, by the way, I meant to talk about Jesus, but I'm getting distracted right now. This is what they call Adam and Eve bottoming pattern right here. That's an Adam and Eve pattern right there. I definitely think this is the real deal, man. When it moves up more, once it breaks above this, that's when your measure move comes in, and the measure move would actually be from the lowest point here to this nipple. If you bring it up to right there, your measure move would take you all the way up to about $1.55. You probably crawl up to this, but when you break it, it's going to be a very fast move that takes you up here. So just be aware of that. And then beyond that, man, I mean, if you scope this thing out, we kind of have like a big W, right, that we're forming as well. So that could lead you to an even more powerful move that takes you above this high onto new all-time highs, something like that. Matic's looking good too, though. But let's talk about Jesus Coin today. We're doing some bullish things, man. We're sitting at 7069 right now. This chart isn't the best, but it's all we have for USDT pairs, man, or for USD pairs at all. Higher lows, you can see it. Kind of a flat top. This is somewhat of an ascending triangle. it would mark continuation of this overall move. I do expect that when we break this, you're going to see a move just like this, but it's going to take you up higher. And I've measured this enough times to know that the measure move will take us to new all-time highs. And that actually would, I'm pretty sure, take us, yeah, it would take us right around this 1272, right? Take this low here to this high, assuming that we break from like the point of break would be here. I mean, man, that it would actually take us all the way up to the 1618. So, and that would be at the point of break. That's a 10x, an 11x technically. So we're well below that. Let's see actually where we are, because that price isn't properly updated. Let's see where we are on CoinGecko, number 926. So it's a little bit higher, but still, from the current price on Jesus Coin, I think an 11x is it's coming. It's coming. Is it going to happen now, or are we going to consolidate for a couple more weeks, or maybe even a month or so, maybe? But when we do break, I'll make a video, and I mean, you guys, it'll be quick. It'll be very swift. This is a low cap coin sitting at $11 million. We got the burn going on. 80% of the total supply is getting burned on December 25th, Christmas Day, and I think the weeks leading up to that burn are going to be very bullish. And here we are sitting about a month and a half out from that. So I think, you know, it's definitely a decent time to accumulate. This does look like a relatively strong area of consolidation. You know, don't bet the farm on this. There is very high reward potential, so why risk a lot? You know, you don't have to bet a lot on this thing to make a lot. But I know people who have tens of thousands of dollars in this thing, so you know, there's definitely some conviction in the community here. Let's see here. From Matic to those other two, nice. I really didn't like Solana. Not that I didn't like it. I liked it last cycle. I just didn't know if I'd like it this cycle. But to be fair, while we're talking about it, by the way, Solana, this is one of the more bullish charts in crypto. I was bearish on Solana like throughout here, but then once we had this move here, when it started to look more like an ascending triangle, I've shifted my this is a more bullish formation than anything else has. And look at the follow through, man. Where have I been? I didn't even pay attention to this over the past few weeks. Last I checked, we were down here. My last video on Solana, I definitely was calling for it to go higher. Man, up 100. Wow, good job. Good job, Solana soldiers out there, man. Good job to all of you. You're at a previous area of resistance, price-wise. It wouldn't be crazy if you turned around from here. A little, you know, take profit zone, or if at least a non-FOMO zone. Definitely don't FOMO here. Maybe you come back down, find support at a previous area of resistance, previous area of support as well, previous area of support down here. So maybe you go back down to around $29. You're sitting at 41 now. That wouldn't be too crazy. Top to bottom, yep, that's the bottom there. You're at your 0.5. You're looking so constructive, man. Beyond the price action itself, right? Like this is higher lows, flat base. You've got the ascending triangle. The volume leading the breakout. No, it's not as much volume as you got over here, but it's more volume than you've seen in a very long time on the breakout. It's definitely the real deal. This in itself is constructive, but the fib from all-time high to all-time low, you've got this move above the 236. You find support on it. Yes, you faked out below it, but overall you found support. Resisted the 382, support on the 236. Now you're up at the 0.5. If you went down to your 382 to find support again, that's just classic stair-stepping behavior. And you can go a little bit below it. That's okay. That's where your resistance and support is. So if you go a little bit below the 382, that's okay. But it wouldn't be crazy on your way up to this 61869 area to go back and check the 382 at about $30, maybe just a little bit below there. And then from there, you'll probably see a move much like this one pretty quick that'll take you up to, that would be about $65, $66, $68 to $88, which from here, from the current price, would be another 66 to 100+%, man. So that will likely happen, I would say, probably by the end of the year. I would think that would happen by the end of the year. As far as new all-time highs go, is Solana capable of seeing new all-time highs? I think it is. But that would be quite a heavy market cap. You know, you're sitting at about 17 billion right now, $17 billion in market cap valuation. For it to go to to all-time highs, that'd be a 5x. So that would put it at about 85 billion. I believe. A little bit over 85 billion actually. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's a 500%. That'd be a 6x. So it would be 85 plus 17. You'd be at like $100 billion just to see your previous all-time high. But if you break that, you're looking to go up to $670, something like that at a minimum, which would be multiple hundreds of billions of dollars. And Solana, you know, it's a new coin, but it might be deserving of that. Who am I to say? You know, maybe it goes there and it never sees that again. It has some kind of drop, but this undeniably is one of the more bullish formations, one of the more bullish charts in crypto right now, and it's having one of the more bullish reactions as well. I mean, I could see that. I mean, maybe third or fourth, maybe. I mean, it's at number 7 right now. Like, it really could, man. Honestly, especially if you take into account that Solana's number 7 now, and you have USDC, BNB, and Tether up here. Prime bull market. These things are the things that are going to like kind of lose their status, right? Especially Tether and USDC, because people are selling their Tethers and their USDCs and buying cryptos. Really, the way to look at this would be, this is actually the top 5 coin right now. If you took out stable coins, this is your top 5. Solana's in the top 5 right now. I want to go through the comments and make sure I didn't miss anything. CRO. Oh, we'll check out some CRO for Mr. Robert Lellis. Let's see. Thank you, Derry Duke. Appreciate you. Where do you think Caspa's off to? Bobby C, what's up, man? Bobby C, wiped the floor with me, man. Good job on Caspa. Good job to all the Caspa killers. Let's see, man. We'll go over Caspa. We'll go over Caspa for sure. I'm self-taught, Vinny. I'm self-taught the hard way, man. I made a lot of mistakes, watched a lot of videos, read up on a lot of strategies and stuff, and just experience too, man. I've been doing this now for going on 7 years, and you know I'm just absolutely obsessed with TA. The main thing that I use is fibs, right? I like the fib retracement tool. There's all kinds of fibs. There's there's fib, the trend-based fib extension, which is essentially the same thing. Fib channels, fib time zones, which I don't really find too much success with, honestly. Resistance fans, trend-based fib time, essentially the same thing as time zones. Fib circles, spirals. You know, I don't really use any of this stuff. I just use the regular retracement thing here, but that's like my specialty if I had that. You know, I've learned a lot about that. And the thing, you guys, before I get on to the next TA, if I was to teach anything about fibs, if you can call it teaching, this is just I guess my opinion off of what I've experienced, what I've read, what I've gone over, and again, just mainly what I've experienced personally. Stuff that I've read, applied it to, or even seen done on other YouTube channels, seen them or read about it, talked about it, and then applied it to my own analysis. I've seen this kind of stuff happen time and time again. So if you have a fib scale like this, the way that this would look is that your price was up here at some point. It like wagged its way down, whatever, and then it was here, and now you're looking to see what it's going to do afterwards. It's very common to go at least to your 382. So a good way to kind of assume that you're going to go here is if you can break first above this 0.069, if you can get a little bit above the 0, but really breaking above the 236 is a pretty solid indication that you are going to go to your 382. It's not common to retrace to your 236 and then go lower, right? If you're looking to go higher, what you're going to see is 382 down to your 236 and then up to your 618. You're going to see this kind of like stair-stepping formation, and it doesn't have to be exactly like this, but more or less you want to see previous resistance become support maybe as you're going up, or just blast past it and find support on your next fib up. You want to do this like stair-stepping kind of formation as you move up, you know, and it's more complicated than that. There's a lot more to fibs than that, but that's kind of a basic understanding at the least. You know, if you want to kind of plot a course with the price action, you know, we can do this. We've got a chart right now. We're looking at Solana right now, so let's just plot the course, right? And I already did it a little second ago, but from top to bottom, again, you found support on your 236, you held it, This kind of look, I would generally expect that you go lower, but this is where you take price action into consideration too. You have to use more than just one tool. You don't have to, but it's good to kind of use just the price as well. You've got higher lows. You have a flat base, so automatically bullish formation, right? You've got volume increasing as you're breaking out. Bullish indication that this is the real deal. Now you bring the fibs back on from all-time high to all-time low. That's a very significant fib. You found support, held support at the 236, resisted the 382, blasted by it. A very expected move right now, in my opinion, would be to come back to the 382, find support, and then you're on to this zone here. Maybe you find resistance here, go back to the 0.5, an area that you found resistance on before, and then you break up. Maybe you just keep going up. Maybe you break up above it, you come back and find support at the 618 and go higher. Again, it's not that there's any one way 100% of the time, but this is just kind of, again, an idea of how things go. And you don't have to go directly to these lines, though it is nice when you get this kind of respect. But again, we did this move here, and I would undeniably say that you held the 236 as support throughout this whole zone. So a little bit of fibs there, getting carried away. We're going to talk about CRO for Robert Lellis, then we're going to talk about CASPA for Bobby C. Hell yeah, Matt. Good to have you, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you all for being here. I did not do ACH. Oh, wait. Did you do ACH? No, I did not do ACH. Man, I meant, Fonzie, I meant to do that sooner, bro. I forgot about that. I've been forgetting, man. I take screenshots, and I don't know why I didn't have that in there. But anyways, we're gonna talk about ACH for sure. Right now, we're going to do CRO, and then CASPA, and then ACH. MJ's Fusion Deli. Let's see. Hey C-Zar, what do you think about Jesus Coin? It's still up. Oh yeah, I just talked about that MJ's Fusion. I think Jesus Coin's gonna do well, man. I think it's gonna do really well. I think it's consolidating right now, honestly. I think it's it's sitting at a nice price right now. If you look at this overall, last 90 days maybe. Yeah, you have like an ascending triangle kind of look. Maybe put it in logarithmic to make it look a little cleaner. Nice high and tight consolidation. Once this breaks, which we're really close to doing right now, it might not happen now. It might happen a couple weeks from now. We could come back down. But if it was to break, and a lot of things are looking bullish right now, if it was to break, you're going to see this kind of move happen, take us to new all-time highs within this month for sure. Nothing's for sure, but you know what I mean. Anyways, let's move on. Let's talk about CRO for Mr. Lellis. CROcrypto.com on Coinbase. Definitely pumping, looking good. I love to see this, man. When you just see all these coins doing stuff like this, showing bottoming formations and just having positive reactions, it gets me excited. Gets me real, very bullish RSI. Gonna shrink that a little bit, take this thing off. The volume isn't really there. I mean, yeah, it's increasing as you're moving up. I don't know, man. This is a bullish looking RSI. You held your oversold zone like this. Bullish divergence, yeah, on the price, and you just had a very positive reaction like this. I think you broke this trend, this little downtrend that you're in. You're probably starting something new. Being that this is an exchange token, I would expect good things for it, especially because it's like near its all-time lows, right? The next place I'd look for, you're sitting at about 7 cents now, would be all the way up around 10 cents at this 236, maybe even at 15 cents in a relatively short amount of time. I wonder, do you have more historical data? No, you don't. Okay, that's okay. Weekly RSI looks very good. Daily RSI, wow. Yeah, very strong. Holy shit, man. That's crazy. Yeah. I love to say this. I love to say this right here. This is a little trick. I know I just went over the fibs, but here's the thing for the RSI. For anybody who maybe you know the basics on the RSI, but you just like have a hard time, like you know how to read it, but it doesn't work for you, right? You're like, well, this is the overbought zone. This is generally the area you'd like to sell. This is the oversold zone. This is generally the area you'd like to buy. And that's, in theory, that makes sense, but not always. And in fact, generally, actually, the fact that they label this the oversold zone and the overbought zone, I feel like it's there to trick you. It's like, overbought, it's overbought, it's oversold, great time to buy, it's overbought, great time to sell. Really what they should be is bearish strength zone and bullish strength zone. It's the RSI, the relative strength index. Whenever you see these readings, it's only at a time of strength. When you see this, it's only at a time of strength, but to the downside or weakness, right? So it's not like you're starting to show strength. Do you think the move is going to end when you start to show strength? No, you just got overbought here, and you continue to move up. Just like over here, when you just got oversold, it was here, but you proceeded to go lower. And it's not always like that. Sometimes, you know, you get right overbought like this, and then you turn around. But there's other things at play there. There's other factors at play that could kind of signal that. You know, maybe we take this top to this low here. You're at your 1272 extension. On the 4 hour, maybe there was some bearish divergence on the other RSI, you know, whatever. And nothing's 100%, but man, this being overbought this long, I would expect you correct at some point, but volumes building, you were very, very strong. I don't know, man. I don't think this move's done. If you were to correct at all, maybe move back down to about 6 cents. You're sitting at 7 cents now. But again, I think CRO is likely from top to bottom here going to make a move to about 10 cents in a very short amount of time. Previous areas of resistance, maybe you check there for a little bit, come back down and find support, but you also could very well just move all the way up to your 382, which is also a previous area of resistance over here. But I would expect either of these zones, 10 to 15 cents, somewhere in there. You find a little turbulence. You excuse me. You did have a price range here that you were in for a little while, so probably a little turbulence there, but ultimately you make your way up to the 61869 area at 31 to 40 cents, and then potentially higher, man. This is a relatively new coin. It's an exchange coin. Crypto.com is a relatively big exchange in the U.S. It's not the biggest exchange, but they literally had their own football stadium, so I think that it's got a place in the crypto space, and it'll probably see new all-time highs by the end of this cycle. But that's all I got for it right now. Let's move on to Caspa for Mr. Bobby C. Caspa, USD. Man, I can't believe this shit. I can't believe this, man. It's doing really good. Let's see. We're gonna do ACH right after this. ETH. We'll talk about ETH too. Secede or die. Marsh. I am not holding CASP. I'm not trading it at all, actually. It's not in me to buy at highs. Am I kicking myself in the pants for this? No, I didn't really have any interest in buying it. I would probably have more interest if we saw a more like common retracement as we've seen previously. But we just haven't had that because CASP is too busy being bullish, man. It's just like, I don't care. You want to pull back? We're just going to go up. Sorry. Let me see here. Let me see. I think BTC will be at all-time highs by Feb. Kanye West, check yourself, man. Check yourself, because it's possible. But if you go back in time for Bitcoin, at the halving date, it's always like around 50% of a pullback from the previous all-time high. If not, like at the lowest, I think it was like a 46% pullback or something like that. It's at the halving, we're normally a lot lower than the all-time high, right? We're around where we are now, a little bit higher would probably happen by the all-time high. But by February, the halving's in April, I would think that we're probably not going to see new all-time highs until about this time next year, if not maybe sometime after like the midway point. Because once the halving happens, crypto chills generally. There are some things that go up, there are some things that go down, but generally crypto as a whole chills. And then it's like a month to even like months after the halving that things really start to turn up. And man, that's the strongest part of the cycle. So some point next year, we will be at new all-time highs for Bitcoin. I just don't think it's going to be in the first half. I would stand to believe that it's going to be in the second half. That's just my personal opinion. But if you look at the all-time history chart on that, you can see, measure it, man. Go from the previous all-time highs to where you were on the day of the halving. Measure how far of a pullback that was. You're generally around 50% of a pullback from there. But anything's possible, man. Bitcoin doesn't care. This could be a different cycle. Things could be more bullish or more ahead of schedule. Like, who knows? You know, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. Speaking of that, I've been wrong about Caspa plenty, man. Looking at this thing on the daily, I think me and Smooth Operator both have some explaining and some apologies to give out, man. I was bearish down here. I maintained my bearish stance all the way here. And then, you know, I still stand by the fact that you're probably going to see a pullback at some point, but I do think you're going to go higher, Cas. I think Caspa is going to go higher. Probably, my last video that I made about it, which was yesterday, I think, you'd probably at least go to about 7 cents. You're so close to your 618, man. But you might even go higher. If we take, let's see, I wonder, what's this one, top to bottom? Yeah, there's some decent. Maybe you go up just a little bit higher. That could have been the high. You are you are at a place that you kind of like to turn. If you were to turn around from here, I don't think it's going to be a humongous correction, right? It's not going to be like that. It won't even be like that. Maybe you just check yourself like this, form some bearish divergence on your next leg up. But I would think that that's not the high. If you don't continue immediately, you'll probably continue in the next like week or two, is what I would think, right? You consolidated last time for about a week, week and a half, and then moved up. Here, probably like a few weeks. Let's see. Top to like when you broke out. That was about 3 weeks right there. So yeah, maybe like a week to 3 weeks. But you could just keep moving higher, man. 4 hour, very bullish readings on the 4 hour, man. I want to look at the CAS USDT on KuCoin. Let's just see what the volume's doing. Man, yeah, I don't think it turns around here, guys. It looks really good. This is ridiculous. It's like forming an ascending triangle in its RSI at this really high point already. Yeah, man. You just broke out of your ascending triangle. Oh, that's right. That's what I wanted to go over. Okay, so if this is an ascending triangle, which I think it is, right? You've got your flat top here. You've got your from low to low here, like somewhat of an ascending triangle, right? You want to call it that. I want to call it that. Let's call it that. So from bottom here to top, maybe we can measure this low to be conservative, right? If we put this here, that would take this move. The measure move would be all the way up at about 8.5 cents. From top to bottom here, you got, I mean, that's a little bit above your 1886, but whatever, you could definitely do that. I want to go back to the all-time history real quick and just see what you've done previously, right? So from here, from this top to this bottom, 1618 is above that even. So yeah, you could go there, man. Your 1414 is there. I feel like this would be your more significant fib out of everything you've done because you found support on your 786, you came above it, found support on your 100 like that, and now you're up above the 1272. The more I look at this, the more I'm convinced you probably do go higher. If you were to have a pullback at all, it'll be minor. You probably hold support at this 1272, right around 6 cents, and then go higher. But you might just continue to go higher from here. That 4 hour RSI is ridiculous, man. That's like it's overbought, but again, it's very strong. This is, you're getting some of the stronger readings. You might see a strong, okay, that's not what I wanted to do. Stay on page. Yeah, sure, leave page, whatever. We're gonna go back. I don't know what just happened there. That's okay though. I've done that a couple times. I don't know why. But overall, bullish on CAS. If it was to have a pullback from here, it's probably not going to be too bad. I do expect CAS to have a pullback, something like this, right, where you've seen in the past you've seen a 72 or 74% drop, 74% drop, 57%, 72%. I would expect that we see something like that, but not after going higher. You're probably going to top off around 8 to 9 cents, maybe even a little bit above 9 cents, if you're going off the measure move here and the overall kind of resounding 1618 extension of this. But let's see. You just subbed? Oh, what? Are you serious for 1K? Thank you, Blake. I appreciate you, man. Am I at 1K right now, guys? I don't know. Hold on. Let's see. I'm at 1K. We're at 1K, baby. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah, you guys. That's awesome. Thank you all so very much. I really, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate all you guys. That's awesome. I've wanted to hit 1,000 before the end of this year. Here we are in the very beginning of November. We did it, man. I didn't think it was actually going to happen on the stream. I just put it on there because I wanted to throw out the energy. But here we are, man. What's up, Avi? How you doing? Anytime, Bobby C. I appreciate you. Thank you, Robert Lellis. Thank you, guys. Thank you all so very much. Hell yeah. Thank you, guys. I love the Jesus community, too. This is cool. Thank you, Bobby C. I appreciate you, man. For those of you that don't know, me and Bobby C, we were talking shit to each other. Not like hard. I feel like it was respectable shit talking. And we made a little bet. And right now he's got me. He got me on this because we were betting on Caspa. I said that it would have a big drop before it had this break above its new all-time highs here. And he got me. He owned me, man. And he owns Caspa too. So good job to Bobby C. Good job to any of the Caspa holders out there. This thing, it's a force to be reckoned with, man. It's a new coin, but there's always that there's always a handful of new coins that just do really well, right? This thing could do well in the coming cycles too, but for now, I think this thing is definitely a top contender to watch. Right now, what's it at on its standings? CAS, number 40. Number 40, 1 billion. This kind of, market cap could definitely, it would be an achievement. It'd be a really like hard achievement, but from here you could even see a 100x. With the way that this thing's acting, man, you could see a over $100 billion market cap. Now, the only thing that holds me back from like really truly believing that that's going to happen is it is such a new coin. It is such a new coin, as far as like the token goes. I don't know how long the project's been in the works. Someone told me it's been in the works for 10 years. I don't know if I believe that. I can't find any evidence on that. From what I know, the first coin was minted in 2021. So more than this chart can provide. But again, I don't know too much about it. I'm sure there's more people that know more than I do. But a 100x from the current price would give it a $140 billion market cap. That's pretty high for a new coin. But it could definitely, oh, I'm sorry, I'm messing up here. It could definitely go higher. It could definitely maybe not see 140 billion, but maybe it sees 100 billion or even a 70 billion, which from here would be about like a 60x, right? So that's great things for Caspa. It's already been amazing, but let's continue. Let's move on. I've spent enough time talking about this coin already. Let's see. Hell yeah, good job, man. Good job. I'm glad you bought early, man. That's awesome. It could definitely let's see, if it was to do a 70x from here, a 10x would be at 60. I mean, shit, man. That's gonna be over $1. Yeah, this thing's gonna do great. You're gonna do pretty good, Mr. Bobby C. Right? Because a 10x would be 60 cents. I think you got a 10x. I think that's definitely in the bag. Yeah. Good job, man. Hell yeah. Anyways, let's see. Hit that like. Yeah, thank you, Rocket Fire. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's only right the majority of people think it will take longer to miss out. I mean, you got a good point there, man. Contrarianism, Kanye. That definitely a good point. But, based on like the history of Bitcoin, it's been pretty true to that every single time, and yes, it does mislead people, but overall with like its market dynamics, it holds true. But you could be right, man. Things can change at any point in time. People are definitely expecting Bitcoin to be rather tame before the halving, so that could be the reason we're seeing all this bullish stuff now. Thank you, Fonzie. I love these lives too, man. Hell yeah, I've been wanting to do one for a while. Just haven't had time, man. I've been making less videos lately. I know I still make videos regularly, guys, but it's just hard sometimes. I got a little one. I got work and stuff to do. I got to maintain the house, like, and I've got my fiance. We do all this together, of course, but it's just like it takes time. It takes time, and I got a little bit of time today, and it's right on time for the 1,000 subscribers. So it just worked out well. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be doing a live stream. 17 people, man. I think that's the most I've ever seen in a live stream, and it was at like 20 at one point. So hell yeah. Anyways, let's see. Let's move on. We're gonna talk about ACH for Mr. Mosher or Mosher. ACH USD Alchemy Pay. Which one? Is it Coinbase that has the most historical data? Come on now. Yeah, Coinbase. Okay, cool. Yeah. Alchemy Pay. Looking at this thing right now, you have a higher low. You even kind of have a double bottom, right? It's got this nice little, like, if we look at the daily, it's got this nice little, like, double. It's like an eve and an eve. You've got this, like, cupping pattern. I've heard it been called the cock and balls pattern before, because this is, I mean, obviously it's it looks like a set right there. And generally with this kind of pattern, the cock and balls, you would get, a little bit of stagnation, but it doesn't have to do that. This could be an Asian cock and balls pattern. No offense to the Asians out there. What's going on, bud? Looking at this thing, you are overbought. You are definitely overbought. And, oh, I guess you're not overbought now, are you? Oh, man, you're showing some strength. You are out of the overbought zone. You can't maintain levels in there, but you just moved up. Nice volume. Oh, bro, you held your 123. I don't know, man. I think this thing goes higher. I feel like, I'm looking at all these cryptos, and I'm like, you get to go higher. You get to go higher. You get new all-time highs. Like this, it's a wonderful time to be in crypto right now, you guys. Definitely good times, especially if you've been in it for months now. But even if you're in it now, like it's just exciting. It's nice to see stuff like this finally. From top to bottom on Alchemy Pay here, you hit your 1414. It looks like you're finding support on your 1272. I would think you at least go to your 1618. But with how this looks, the 1618 just seems so close. I would think you might even go higher. Previous areas of resistance up here and support right around your 1886. Maybe you make a move up to about 22 cents or even a little bit higher. You could go all the way to your 2272. I said 22 cents. I meant 2.2 cents. I'm sorry. So something, I would think somewhere around that 1886 is probably where you go. That would be my honest opinion before seeing a major pull around or pullback, pull around. Let's see here. Let's see. GFAL. Marsh, I feel like I have. I don't. What is it? What is GFAL? Is it like a gaming thing? I forget. Yeah, games for a living. That's right, yeah. I have heard of that. I did a video on it a little while ago. I can't remember what it was. We'll talk about that in a second. I just want to make sure, you know, I'm not missing anything here. I don't know, bro. This Fonzie, this looks good, man. Yeah, looks really good. You found support on your 618 area. You did it again. You came up like this. You're finding support on your 12. This thing wants to go higher. Like, you're probably going to see a move more or less just like this again. You might be forming a 3 bearish drives pattern, potentially, like 1, 2, and then the next one up. Let's see. Let's see if that was true. If that were true, I don't think it's true. I take it back. I don't think it's true at all. Yeah. Regardless, it looks good. Nice strong RSI. Nice bottom here. Overall higher low. You know, again, I think you go to about 2.2 cents in the near term. But by the end of the year, I mean, this thing could be up at about 3.3 cents, maybe around 3 cents even, somewhere around there. You could even be higher. It likes to pump really fast, apparently. Not a whole lot of historical data, so, you know, don't hold me to this, but from this low to this high here, that took you 6 weeks if you were to maintain a similar trajectory, right? I mean, end of the year would be all the way over here. You've got 11 weeks to work with, man, and technically 12, I guess, because we're still at the beginning of this. Or no, it would be 11 total. I'm sorry. 11 weeks to work with. You've got now, I would say 8 weeks to work with. Yeah, you've definitely got the potential to go even above this high here. But let's just monitor this thing, man. Very nice bottom on your RSI here. Very constructive look, along with the nice set that you got there. What are you at again? From low to high. You went right down to your 6.9 area, man. Like, you literally went right to it. Bounced off it, double bounced it. You're at the 0.5. I don't think you pull back from here, man. I mean, with this look, generally, I would expect that you pull back to the 618, but I think you keep going. You probably go up to your 382, and then maybe see a pullback to the 0.5. Yeah, like around 2.4 cents, maybe 2.2 cents, somewhere in that area. You probably, the odds of you seeing a new high above this, not a new all-time high, but a new high above this before the end of the year, it's definitely there. And if you were to see a high, a price that goes above this here, you'd probably see it go to about 7.5, maybe to 12 cents, somewhere around there by the end of the year. And that's a pretty big range. You know, here you are sitting at about 1.8 cents now. That's a lot to work with, though, by the end of the year. So even down here, that's a fantastic achievement in a short amount of time, let alone if it doubles, or not doubles, but like 80% more than that, right? So I think up is probably where it goes. We can look at GFAL. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody who came. I know I can see that there's some people that left, but thank you all for being here and showing support. I just, you know, if you have to go, that's cool. I know it's late and it's early for some people depending on where you are in the world, but it's been a lot of fun, man. I definitely got a hit of energy off you guys. GFAL. I'm going to cut back on the crypto here in a second. I just want to do this real quick. Wow. Wow, man. Yeah, that's, you know, that I was looking at this rank and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it was lower last time I talked about it, but wow, man, you've got nice little reaction. Everything's just pumping, bro. Low to where you're at now, 85%. Nice. Decent volume on MEXC. I feel like that's a pretty relative exchange to use. What about BitGet? Doesn't show volume, but whatever. Let's go to the crypto chart. That's all we got. I don't know, man. I don't know how to do TA on this. This is, it's a very new chart. You can definitely do TA, but it's going to be more short-term analysis. Oh, you look bullish. I mean, for what you've got, you definitely look bullish. Probably want to go a little bit higher. Strong readings in your weekly RSI. You bounced off your bullish area of control. You're well in the overbought zone now, man. You probably, yeah, this looks very good. Wow. Yeah. You do have bearish divergence, but I don't know, man. It wouldn't surprise me. When you coil up like this, it wouldn't surprise me if you went up. You could come down. That wouldn't be too crazy. I wish I had more to go off of on this chart to see how you like to do it, but you could definitely go higher, right? I mean, when you've been overbought on the daily, you tend to make a move that's higher than where you are now, and you've maintained prices. If this was to turn around here, okay, cool, but it didn't do that. You bounced off your overbought zone 3 times, man, in the face of multiple drives of bearish divergence, and you're just moving up higher. And on MEXC, you've got decent volume, right? Yeah, like, okay, it's dying down a little bit. I don't know. Let's see. It's dying down. Maybe you consolidate more, but I'm not quite convinced that this move is done just yet. You probably do go a little bit higher. Let's see. From top to bottom here, you're right at your deep extension at the 1886. If you were to go higher, you probably move to about 4.4 cents and then come back to about like 3.6 cents. Something like that wouldn't be too crazy. Maybe even lower. Hard to do analysis on something like this, man. There's not a whole lot to go off of. The 4-hour is bullishly postured. Definitely bullishly postured. It looks like it really does look like it wants to go up higher, man. I would say it does. Yeah. And on the 4-hour, volume's kind of increasing as you're moving up right now, so that's not bad. Climbing, this kind of look, you do this for only so long, you will have some kind of pullback at some point, but probably not here. That's my best opinion, but yeah, man, definitely curious. Are you talking about ACH, Matt, or are you talking about GFAL? But anyways, I am still going to be talking, but I don't know what to talk about. I think we've gone over enough cryptos. We can talk about Bitcoin Cash. I know there's a lot of Bitcoin Cashies in here, man. Cashies, if you're here, man, I think that's a clever term for the Bitcoin Cash people, Bitcoin Cashies. I call you all the Dragon Riders, but unfortunately, Bitcoin Cash has not been doing bullish things, right? The whole rest of the market's doing bullish things, and Bitcoin Cash is just not. I do think that we're going to make a move. We're at 237 right now. I do think we're going to make a move down to around that 220 to 225 area, with the potential to even see a more dramatic crash. You guys know that I'm expecting some kind of a move in November for crypto across the board. I could be wrong. I'd be happy if I was wrong. I'm predominantly invested right now. I don't have as much cash sitting on the side, though I do have some ready to get in and scoop some up if we do get a drop. But right now, it's not too scary looking, right? We're kind of in this constructive formation overall. Nice like parallel channel going up. This line isn't drawn perfectly. If it was, there would actually be, this line would come down to about like 223, where here it looks like we're finding support on it. It would be more like this. Something like that. So we could come down, find support on this line, and then continue to go higher from there. Marching our way up, kind of like XRP, though we're not having the bullish pump just yet. We'll probably act like this, right? We're going to crawl our way up to this high, consolidate around there, and then break in a fantastic fashion that's much like what we had here. Probably not as dramatic, but still more dramatic than what we've seen since this move, right? Yeah, it's been boring. It's been boring lately. I used to make videos on this thing every day, even throughout the boring times, but when there's a lot of exciting cryptos going on, this was when everything else was boring. So I was happy, even though when it was boring, I was happy to make videos on it. But there's a lot of, as you've seen, like I think this is the most boring bearish chart that I've talked about so far in crypto. So it's definitely reasonable. I don't know, man. I have my reasons for not talking about it every day, but I do love Bitcoin Cash. I hold a solid bag of this stuff, man. I was actually just talking to a family friend about this today, and how they need to get into this. But anyways, Probably goes down a little bit, and then we can talk about going up. Maybe we do drop more. If we drop more, man, if we see some kind of major drop here in November, I will probably scoop some more up. I thought I was done buying this thing, but I do have some cash set on the side, and I would be more than happy to scoop some Bitcoin Cash up. I don't know, man. Let's see. I'm petting. I have a cat. I have two cats, actually. They're brothers, and one of them keeps rubbing up on me here, and I keep touching my face, and that is a mistake, man. And I got some cat hair in my mouth. Not good. Not good. Oh, they're very good cats, man. I know. I'm a dog lover. I always thought I'd be a dog dad. I'm never done until it starts pupping. Yeah, that's a good way to be, Matt. As long as it's not taken off yet, it's a really good, it's always a good time to invest. The thing is, you guys, Bitcoin Cash might be, if you're considering it as a viable option to invest, it might be a more viable option than anything else we've talked about so far because it hasn't popped off. I mean, it has popped off, right? It had this big move here, but everything else is kind of moving right now where Bitcoin Cash hasn't yet. A lot of people make the mistake. They go for all the coins that are popping off right now. If you're holding a coin, you guys, if you want to FOMO in right now, whatever coin you're watching, maybe it's Link, maybe it's Solana, maybe it's Matic, maybe it's AVAX. I don't know if AVAX is doing well. Maybe it's Jesus Coin. Maybe it's Dogecoin even, sitting at about 7.1 cents. Whatever coin it is that's going up that you have your eyes on, but maybe you're not in it and you want to FOMO in now that it's pumped. Pump the brakes and invest in the one that hasn't pumped yet. This isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but that's exactly what I'm going to do. It's exactly what I would do. And I think that, it's not financial advice, but it's a good habit to get into nonetheless, because it's not a good habit to chase things. And right now there are a lot of cryptos out there, low cap cryptos that are pumping, doing phenomenal things, and high cap cryptos as well. But just because they've pumped already doesn't mean they have to continue going higher, right? It's better to get into something that hasn't pumped yet, like Compound. I think somebody earlier was talking about Compound. I meant to actually do that. Let's see. Let's talk about Compound right now. Compound, man, prime example. It's been crawling. It's creeping and crawling. And what's nice about Compound, right? Bitcoin Cash here, creeping and crawling. It's not near its high. XRP's creeping and crawling. It's not near its high. But Compound, it's near this high. It's near this high that, like out of, let's see, since, I guess, August, it's, oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I thought we were on the weekly. Okay, well, it might be getting ready to move up. Anyways, what I was going to say is it's near, I thought it was near this high, but we're not, but whatever. We're overall in this accumulation phase. We've yet to pop. We've yet to pop. And I do think we're going to see some kind of a more immediate pop. Here we are sitting at 49.60 right now. We probably do move out of this range. We're looking bullish, very bullishly postured, strong readings in your daily RSI. You are not getting into your overbought zone, but dude, you are, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. I want to see, it would be nice if today closed green. It'd be nice if today closed green. If we can get above this purple line and maintain prices there, if we can maintain prices in the RSI, in the overbought zone. Because if we reject here, this actually might not be a good thing. Because this kind of look, but on the oversold zone, would actually be a kind of very bullish look. This could be a bearish look if we don't get continuation. So let's go. Let's pick up the pace a little bit, Compound. Strong looking 4-hour RSI. Still showing strong readings on your daily regardless of that. And the weekly overall is pretty constructive. But looking at this, talking about things that haven't popped off yet, you're in this kind of phase of accumulation, right? If you look at this, you compare it to Link, L-I-N-K, right? Go to Coinbase here. Phase of accumulation, and what happened when you broke out of it? You had a phenomenal move, man. I mean, like in the course of 3 weeks here, you've moved up 76%, 76.7%. Somebody's car's going off. Comp, USD. We haven't even popped yet. We had a fake out here, but overall we're still in this area of accumulation. When this happens, guys, it's going to be a phenomenal move. It's going to be a very phenomenal move. You're sitting at about $50 now. I would think by the end of the year we probably do see a move that takes us out of this range. If not, it'll probably be in the beginning of next year, sometime in the first quarter. but I would think we move up anywhere from $100 to $233 by the end of this year. If we get this break, if we break out above this, and this was a fake out, so you don't actually have to break above this high to break out of this range. Really, in my opinion, you'd have to break above this high. But be convincing. Be a little bit more convincing. This is still pretty convincing, I'm not going to lie, but it just didn't get the follow through. This is a pretty good fake out, man. You broke out, you even back tested it, and you continued higher. Just no follow through. You had the follow through and volume and everything, man. But I think this is just a testament of it wanting to go up. Whenever it does break out, it'll do phenomenal things. But I think that if you break above this like $63 area, you get a week to close above there, it's going to be on. It's going to be on at least to $100, if not maybe even all the way up to $233 by the end of the year. Again, I think, and this is again kind of going over the idea as to, you might be feeling FOMO on a list of cryptos right now, but the one that you're not paying attention to, the one that doesn't have eyes on it because it's being boring, it's chilling, it's accumulating. Look at all these cryptos you want to FOMO into right now, man. They've popped. You're like, I wish I bought it before it popped. Well, you got one. You got, and it, not just Compound. Maybe you have other cryptos that you're invested in too, and they haven't done anything. And you're like, why did I invest in this? It's not doing anything. No. Like, don't think of it like that. I mean, if you believe in the project, you've read about it, you see the potential for growth in it, those are the best ones to invest in, man, because they don't have their eyes on them right now. They haven't popped yet. It's like a chance at buying before the pop, which is exactly what you're asking whenever you're looking at these coins that are FOMOing right now, or that are pumping right now, that you're wanting to FOMO into. So just a lesson from my own experience, and I'm sure a lot of you probably have already had this happen unless you're brand new to trading or to investing. If you chase stuff, you can get burned, man. If you buy the things that are popping off now, you're buying at the relative highs, where there are things besides Compound, like Bitcoin Cash is another example. I can't really think of any others at the moment, but there are some that have yet to pop off. So if you've got cash and you want to FOMO into something that hasn't popped off yet. That's just my 2 cents. Have a good night, MJ's Fusion. Thank you. I appreciate you very much. Hell yeah. I will definitely check it out. I don't make it out to California too often. I might be going this next summer, though, sometime in June. We'll see. I wouldn't be in the San Diego area, but maybe I'll make it a point to get out there. I don't know. We'll see. Thank you. I appreciate you. If I ever am in the area, I'll definitely check you out. Appreciate you. Taraxa, Top G. Taraxa, huh? Yeah. TRX, right? No, that's Tron. Terra, T-A-A-R, T-A-R-A, Terra, USD. Come on. Loading. On crypto here. Whoa. Yeah. KuCoin. There we go. Looking good, man. Taraxa, man. Terra had one of the more phenomenal looking bottoms that I think we've seen in this space. Definitely one of the more bullish scenarios, right? You've got this nice kind of like, I would call this honestly, and it's less common, but it does happen. I'd call this an Eve and an Adam. And from what I remember, if I remember correctly, Eve and Adams are more bullish than Adam and Eves. Like an Adam and Eve is conventional, but Eve and Adams, I think they're more bullish. And the idea behind this is, you have a longer time to accumulate here, where here it's like a shorter time, so it's just a more bullish reaction, hence the more bullish price. If you guys are new to trading, or you want to kind of like up your skills, you want to do anything, like you want to research a glossary that you can trust, that has been used by many people and has been founded and created by a guy that's been trading for decades now. His name's Thomas Bulkowski, and his gift to us, to all of us, it's not like a crystal ball. It's not going to give you the keys to the universe, okay? But it's a reference point. It's a glossary. It's basically a glossary to trading, man. You go to thepatternSite.com, just like that, thepatternSite.com, and you can check here. You can go to candlesticks, chart patterns, Elliott wave, event patterns, fundamentals, blah, blah, blah. Even has books that he's made. I've never read any of his books, but I hear good things about him. I've actually heard really good things about his books. People who recommend them, but You know, if you want to get them, go for it. I've never read them myself, so I think he's got a lot of information for free here, but if you want to pay for some stuff, it's probably worth the reading. I think this one, Chart Patterns After the Buy, and I think this one here, what is that? That's Swing and Day Trading. I think these three are like some of the more popular ones, or maybe it's this Chart Patterns one. It's either this, I think it might be this one, not this one actually. That's the more popular. But just from what I've like dabbled into research with. But anyways, he goes over all kinds of things. You can click on chart patterns, right? And you can go over all kinds of patterns. Like literally from 1 to 3, A to Z. You've got all these different patterns. Like, I don't know, what's this? Open, close, reversal, downtrend. I don't even know. I mean, that sounds about right. But bullish Gartleys, you even have harmonic patterns here. Scallops, I don't know what that is. 3 trading tips. You can go to very fundamental stuff and check out the candlestick patterns, right? There's all kinds of just candlestick patterns as well. Identical 3 crows, separating lines, bearish, long day white. I don't know what any of, you know, what that's called, Morningstar dojis. You know, I know what these are, but if you're new to the space, you want to learn some stuff, you don't know the technical lingo, there's a free glossary, a free index to all this stuff if you type in thepatternsight.com. I'm gonna be right back. Again, the guy's name that made this, it's Thomas Bulkowski. He last updated this literally on the 3rd. It's the 5th now. He updates this thing regularly. It's a very old format. The man himself is an old man. He's a very old bastard, but he's smart. He's a respected trader in the space. I would love to shake his hand before he goes, man. But this is his gift to us. It's free. It's literally free. So if you want to learn trading, if you want to get involved, it's a great place to start. And it's not the holy Bible of trading, but it's pretty damn close to it, man. It's a pretty nice free addition to that kind of stuff. Rug pull on BTC soon. Anyone shorting this with me? If I could short it, man, I would. I think I can on Coinbase One. I think BTC is probably going to have a pull at some point. Yeah, probably back down. I need to grab my charger. My laptop's about to die, so I'll be right back. I don't know if you guys just heard that, but I just messed myself up a little bit. Oh. You know, there are a lot of nice things about having kids. I love my daughter, but whenever she knocks something over and it's on the floor and I trip over it and I stub the shit out of my toe, oh yeah, dude, that is gonna bruise tomorrow. Anyways, I've got some peanut butter here. It's pretty good peanut butter. It's some pretty damn good peanut butter, man. There's cannabis in it, so I'm working against the clock here as far as a functioning brain goes, because I cannot talk and do TA at the same time. So we got a little bit of time left. I'm probably not going to do the stream for like more than an hour. Maybe I will, but if the effects kick in, I'm sure you guys will notice. Let's see. Rug pull on BTC. By the way, supposedly there was a hack on Monero. Yeah, no, I heard about that. I think Stana was posting about that in the Discord. That sucks, man. That really sucks. Happened right at the top. Of course it did. Of course it did. Samuel Sains is not shorting. Let's talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about Bitcoin actually after Terra. Looking at this thing, man, very, very bullish. This is like a bull flag, I would say, and you're breaking out right now. Looking at the market cap, if I remember, it's a very low market cap. Terra, come on. Why aren't you loading for me? All right, whatever. We'll refresh it. Gotta love technology, man. Number 605, low market cap, 28 million. You could definitely see, look, you've already done it before, right? You had a week that pumped up here. You had a week that was up 69% here. You had a week over here that was 245%. We just had a week that was 555%. if you don't think that it can do that same kind of move, or at least something that's over 100% in a week from here, you know, it might not, but you might be proven wrong, right? This is a bull flag. It looks like a bull flag to me. It looks like we're breaking it. You know, if you want to go over how to do bull flags, go to chart patterns here, go to flags. It's not bull flags. It's under flags, right? Like if you typed in bull flag, you go to bull here, BUL. There's nothing like this. Man, there are a lot of harmonic patterns here. If you guys understand fibs, harmonics are really good to go over. I should go over that at some point. But flags, and then there's bullish and bearish, whatever. The way that you would measure this is you would take from the base of the pole to the height of the move, and then you put it at the bottom of the flag. This would be your measure move. Okay, here we are sitting at about 70% of a penny. With this breakout, you've got the potential to move up another, do a 7x. It's totally possible, man. And it's a low enough market cap where that kind of move could happen in a week, like it did before. Is that the right? Let me see here. No. Get rid of that. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, that would put you at deep extensions. You might not go that high. It's completely, you know, that's the measure move, but you don't have to go there. You could fall short. You could go past it. If you were to go past it, I would think that you would go to about 7.3 cents. If you were to fall short of it, maybe down to about 4.4 cents, somewhere around there. But you could go in the middle of it too. Something like that could happen. But that would actually, that measure move would take you to previous all-time highs. So that is completely possible. Looking at this thing on an overall scale too, from top to bottom. Let's see. Nope, that's not the low. There we go. Found resistance at your 61869. Came back, found support in this 0.5 area. I would expect that the next move takes you above this. And if you can break above your 61869 area on this next move up on your second attempt, the odds of you seeing a move that will take you to the 1272 to the 1618 extension are greatly in your favor. This is a little trick, a little tip with fibs, guys. And I've talked about this a plethora of times on this channel. And what it is, like how it works basically. If you want just a little, like another kind of little trick that I've picked up in my experience, is that a kind of rule with the 618 zone is, first off, you want to have a positive reaction with it. That's key. You want to definitely do that. There are times when you can reject this several times and still see the extended zones, but it takes a lot more time, okay? Whenever you have a move like this from top to bottom and you move up to your 618, you find resistance and you come down, that's to be expected, right? That's kind of a normal thing. It's not detrimental at all. It doesn't mean that seeing these prices are not likely. It's whatever. It's just kind of an expected move, actually. Most of the time, and I've shown it plenty of times, we do find resistance right in this area. Oftentimes, you come back to the 382 and then go up from there. Holding above that is actually even a more bullish look, in my opinion. But, okay, back to the thing. On the second attempt, here's your first pass, find resistance, that's cool. On the second attempt, if you can get above it, you can even come back and check down for support on it, but as long as you can get above it and not do a move that is more or less like your first attempt where you come up and then you reject it again, then you are statistically likely. It's not like possible, maybe, it's like likely you're going to see something in this realm over here. You likely will not be stopped out here. Maybe you find resistance there, but ultimately you're going to make moves up here. Like the odds of going here go up greatly. If you find resistance on the second time, going up into this 61869 area, and then on the third pass you break through, the odds are more likely now that you do actually see some kind of resistance here, major resistance here. It's not that you can't go here. There's still a decent chance that you could go all the way up into this extended zone. But if you find a lot of turbulence at the 618, you're more likely looking at deep retracements for your move, where if you find little resistance on your 618, you're looking for extensions. And these aren't even deep extensions. These are like expected extensions, right? You could go deeper. You could go to your 1886 or 2272, but just something, a little something to throw in the wheelhouse. If you're learning fibs, you want to do some analysis or like anything of your own. It's not a guarantee. It's not 100% of the time, but often enough. Like if you do it, you pay attention to it, and you apply this in your time trading or investing, you'll see that exact situation happens often. You'll see that if you are to find turbulence at this 618 a bunch of times, that you likely won't go to highs like extensions beyond that. And if it was the opposite, if you were coming like down, then you likely won't go lower. You'll just turn around from there. So something to kind of keep in your back pocket. Again, it's not always. There are times where you see this kind of stuff and you do go all the way up here. It definitely can happen, but there's more than just fibs to look at too. There's overall market dynamics and conditions, world economic conditions, how much volume you're seeing. Is there like some big news story? Is there a lot of hype going on? Is it there's a whole lot of stuff that plays into it there. Have a good night, GL. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man. I just saw that comment. If you hear this, cool. If not, good night, brother. But yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's cool, bro. It's cool. I got 1,000 subscribers, guys. Thank you all so much. Again, I really from the bottom of my heart, man. It means a lot. It's cool. It feels really cool. Short when Jim Cramer says how amazing blockchain is. That's probably smart, Samuel Sains, honestly. Watch it do exact opposite of what everyone thinks it's going to do. That sounds about right for Bitcoin. That sounds about right. Let's go into that actually right now. Let's see. Dumpy Chocolate Cookie says, "I'm with you, man. I would be okay with it dumping. I'm mainly in crypto right now, but I have some cash on the side that I'd like to get in. So if it dumps, I'm gonna buy it, man. I know that there's other people who will buy it as well. But talking about what was it? Doing the exact opposite. Let's go over the sentiment. Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Here we are. Looking at this thing. Temu, man. It's everywhere. I hate Temu. I've never even used it and I hate it. 74. We're at high levels of greed. And it's not the highest. We've seen higher levels, but let me just put this into reference here. 1 year. Click on 1 year time frame. When were we the most greedy? Right now. Right now. We've actually never been this high on the Fear and Greed Index in the last year. So, if we were to do the opposite of what everyone is expecting, like what Fonzie is saying here, that would imply that maybe we do something that makes us fearful. And I have a theory. I kind of have a theory, guys, because a lot of this, I think a lot of this excitement, all this bullish stuff, I don't think it's because of the ETF, the exchange traded fund that's being promoted, that's being what's the word I'm looking for? I think promoted is a good word, but they're trying to get it passed. I think that's a nice story, but I don't think that's, I think we're just seeing a pump right now, and it's being attributed to the ETF news. Now, what is it? When are the ETF dates actually supposed to? Let's see. Bitcoin ETF approval dates. Yeah, approval timeline. Here we go. So let's see. Who estimated in a panel discussion the SEC would approve spot Bitcoin ETFs in the next 3 to 6 months? This timeline falls, would approve 0.0. January and April 2024, aligning with the halving, actually. Let's see. Maybe that's not it. Because I thought there was one in November. Wasn't there supposed to be one in November? Let's see. Novogratz, man. Mike Novogratz. This guy's crazy. I like Mike Novogratz, man. I don't want to claim this offer. Damn it, Bloomberg. I should have known. Bloomberg and New York Times. Screw them. Let's see. Is this... Am I missing it? Anybody in the chat, do you guys know when the ETF approval dates are supposed to happen? Because I thought there was one that was supposed to be November 25th, if I remember correctly. I thought that there was supposed to be, maybe not one, but like 3. Let me see. Rooters. 10 filings. Bitcoin rallied. 240-day SEC comment. Someone told me November, but I'm not seeing it. I don't know where I would find it here. And then whenever I typed in timeline, it's talking about next year. Too early. This was back in August, so that's old news. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyways, what my theory is for Bitcoin going down. I know. I just kind of went on a little tangent looking for the media there. What my theory is that there's a lot of hype, a lot of expectations around the ETF right now for Bitcoin, the ETFs plural, to get passed. And in my time in crypto, if anyone's been around for multiple cycles, you guys have heard this story before. It definitely seems more compelling and more like it's going to happen than it ever has in any previous cycle, in my opinion. And it could happen. It definitely could happen. But I'm leaning toward like what my experience is telling me, and that's that it wouldn't make sense, in my opinion, for the ETF to get 1117 on Twitter. Okay, yeah, dude, Twitter, of course. Got to check x.com. I bet that there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, 1117. I heard the 25th, but hey, 17's better. That's even closer. What my theory is, cutting to the chase, I talked about it in my last video about Bitcoin, actually, is that, or maybe it was about Bitcoin Cash, is that we're going to see the price move down, and nobody's going to know why. I mean, like, we're going to know why, but nobody's going to know why. And then some people, some YouTubers, some news analysts, whatever, publishing medias, are going to be talking about how it might be in expectations or in assumptions that the ETFs are not going to get passed. Something like that's going to be said. It's not going to be certified. It's not going to be, what's the word I'm looking for, validated, that the ETFs are not being approved. It's not going to be validated, but there's going to be rumors of that. We're going to see the prices go down, right? And then once the price is at its lowest point, that's when the media is going to come out saying that the ETFs are not approved. But it's going to be at the lowest point, right? Once you see that, that's how you know that it's probably a good time to buy, actually, in my opinion. But again, not financial advice. That's probably what I'll be doing. But here we are sitting at a previous area of support here. If we were to go down and we find resistance here and go down to like this low zone, maybe just below 30K, maybe even lower than that, that wouldn't be too crazy, man. It could definitely find resistance in this area. But anytime the ETFs have, the hype has been around the ETFs for the price moving up, this exact thing has happened. Like years and years in a row of this exact thing happening, where all the hype is around the ETF, that it's going to get passed. It's going to be huge for crypto, which is bullshit. But I mean, it is, but I'll go over that in a second too. But what happens every time is we get this pump, and then it gets close to the date when it's supposed to be approved, or when we're supposed to hear things about it. And then nobody knows why, but the price is going down. But nobody knows why, but the price is going down. And there's rumors, there's assumptions that the ETFs aren't getting approved, but there's people who are like, haha, why would you even say that? We don't have anything that validates that yet. You guys are trading, you're selling your coins, and we don't even know. And then at the bottom, we know. It comes out, the news comes out that the ETFs are not getting approved, or they're getting pushed back, or whatever, some kind of negative news. But that's the end of it. When that story comes out, if it's not the absolute bottom, it's near or around the low. And then we tend to have a fantastic recovery. We actually get this negative news, and you'll also hear, like this is a look into the future just based off of previous experience. You're going to hear all kinds of people on YouTube say things like we got the negative news, but Bitcoin doesn't care, crypto doesn't care. You're going to hear those exact words. Crypto doesn't care, Bitcoin doesn't care. We don't need the ETF, and we don't need it now, guys. We really don't need it now. And all this excitement, it's because we're getting close to the halving date. We've been accumulating for a while. We're just doing constructive, bullish things. You want to attribute it to the ETF, cool, but I think that's what the people producing the stories want you to do. They want you to feed into this idea that the ETF is completely necessary. It's this saving grace. The institutional money is what's going to be great for crypto. We want the institutions out of crypto, you guys, as long as possible. The more people like you and me who are not institutional investors can get into it before the institutions do, the better. The more wealth distribution there's going to be for all the people who are involved. 1117, 1111 that's coming up, man. That's coming up, and I'm pretty sure they can. If it is on 1117 or 1111, they likely will give their verdict on that before before that happens. They don't normally do it on the day. It actually happens before, because they can, if it's on 11/11 or 11/17, that's like the due date for when these ETFs being approved or denied has to be submitted. They can submit it before then, though. They don't have to do it on that date specifically. They can do it, and that tends to catch people off guard. But you know, if you've done this enough times, you're aware of this. But overall, we don't need the ETFs, guys. This is what I was trying to talk about again. I think it will be good for crypto, right? But think of this, right? I was talking about this earlier with other cryptos. What was it? PLI, plugin, right? Plugin's got a low cap. It's on BitTrue. Okay, I love you. It's on BitTrue, one exchange, right? It might be on some dexes and stuff. Maybe it's on Uphold or like some other small exchanges. But PLI is not on Binance. It's not on Coinbase. It's not on Gemini, KuCoin, Robinhood. I'm forgetting another one. Kraken, or like I don't know, any big exchange. It's just on one exchange. So plugin, and I promise I have a grand connecting dot with this at the end of it. One more question: what would the price on Jesus Coin be at an 80 at once 80? I don't know. Hard to say, man. It's such a low cap. MJ's Fusion. It could be worth more than 100x in its price from here. It could be worth 5x from its price from here. I think it'll be more than 10x from its price from here personally, but I don't know. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. I would expect, I guess, at a minimum, an 11x from its current price by the time of the burn, if not potentially substantially higher than that for Jesus Coin. That's just my opinion. I'm not buying more, even though I believe that I'm not buying more Jesus Coin. I've got enough. I'm set with that, but I want to get back to this point. So plugin, perfect example, right? It's on one exchange. When it pumps, whenever it has a dramatic run up, like a lot of these cryptos do, it's because other exchanges are buying it. They want to sell it to the clients, so they have to accumulate enough to have in their reserves to sell to their clients. Now, if you think about an ETF, right? An ETF is like paper Bitcoin, but the ETF itself would be backed by Bitcoins, right? Like they're not just like, it's going to be backed by the price of Bitcoin for one, but also the trusts or the exchanges that are buying or promoting this ETF, they're going to collect and own and scoop up some physical Bitcoins. So here's what I'm getting to is, prior to the ETFs being approved, they're going to be, yeah, it is a lot. It's a lot, man. But I think 11x might be the minimum. It's the expectation. Maybe it does a 5x, something like that. Maybe it does more than that. But again, back to the idea. If we treat the ETF kind of like a new coin being listed on a new exchange, they're going to have to scoop up a lot of Bitcoins to have these Bitcoins on their reserves to sell to their clients that they're promoting this ETF with right now. It's now that's nice. It's nice to see. So when the ETF gets listed, when the new coin gets listed on the big exchange, what normally happens? We normally see a pullback. We normally see an immense sell-off, because now the exchanges are no longer buying it. The people who are formulating this ETF, ideally whenever it gets approved, they have all the Bitcoin that they want to back up their ETF, so that they can sell the paper ETF Bitcoin to their clients. You're not going to have that buying pressure anymore. You're not going to have the buying pressure anymore. You're actually going to have selling pressure, and that's what, if we look at Dogecoin, actually, DOGUSD on Bittrex, all-time history here. When did it start to go down? Right here, right? This was its all-time high. I wonder, that was May 3rd, 2021. Doge USD on Binance. No, it already listed on Binance. Was it Coinbase? May 3rd. Look at this. So May 31st, the 31st of May. It was about a month after the listing. Again, it doesn't have to be the day of the listing, but this was relatively near the all-time high that Dogecoin got listed on Coinbase. So is it a coincidence that Coinbase listed it on the week of May 30th? Am I wrong? May 31st? Yeah, okay, so that would have been like over here. It listed it here after it's been pumped, that's when it listed it. If they didn't list it down here, they didn't list it down here. You know what Coinbase was doing? They were buying it down here, and that's what sent this pressure upwards. When they listed it, all there was selling pressure, and all we've been doing ever since is going down. That's the ultimate thing. Immediately when Elon opened his mouth on SNL, yeah, I remember that, man. But that's what I mean, man. They watch for this kind of shit. Elon Musk doesn't control Dogecoin, just like the ETF doesn't control Bitcoin, right? It's the people that are making these stories. There's people that are more in charge, that have more skin in the game, that probably have even more money involved in grand total, that are manipulating these things, right? And Elon Musk, man, he's so, I feel like he's funny, man. He does things like he'll say, I forget what the tweet said, but he's like, just bought a bunch of Dogecoins or Bitcoins. I forget what it was. He said like he spent a certain amount, and then the price pumped, and people were like, see, he's totally manipulating the markets. And he's like, just kidding, I actually didn't buy any. And the price like dropped a little bit, but it didn't drop back down. But he was just saying, hey, look, like the price pumped, like because I said I bought some. People are thinking that he's showing that people think he's manipulating the markets, like he actually bought some and manipulated the markets, but he didn't. There's other people who were watching or paying attention to his tweets. Once that happens, they pump the markets. They're the ones that are manipulating it, right? I don't know, and they're using him as their patsy. Like there's this thing, man. The SEC was going after Elon Musk, and I think it was all bullshit. Honestly, I don't think that he's made a lot of bullish posts and talked about Doge throughout this whole drop, and we haven't seen this kind of reaction, right? He talked about Dogecoin well before we saw all this bullish stuff happen. So people were just attributing it to Elon Musk. People were literally saying things like he's just some kind of bored, like rich billionaire who has nothing better to do than manipulate the markets. That's just a load of crap, man. That's an out for the people who really are manipulating the markets. They got a patsy that it's just like this believable story if you don't really think about it. Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent here, man. But like I said, I ate some peanut butter not too long ago. So I don't know, man. Let's go back to Bitcoin. I didn't really do any analysis. I just talked about some theory, right? Looking at this thing, you're overbought. You're definitely overbought. You're kind of near an area you've turned around before. Kind of near this area that you've turned around before as well. Higher high in your RSI, higher high in the price. It's legit. Good looking weekly RSI. If we take this top here to this bottom, you are right now at your 1414. You found support on your 1272. You wicked down. Let's look at this thing on the daily. Yeah. I don't know, man. I would think you probably do go up a little bit more on Bitcoin. The volume has died off as you've moved up. You probably have bearish. Yeah, you do have bearish divergence. You do have hidden bullish divergence as well, though. Let's look at the 4 hour. Rather neutral RSI. Bearish posturing, but that can change. Rather neutral. Volume's dying off. You know, just because volume's dying off, I wouldn't say you're necessarily moving higher. You're kind of just consolidating. When this volume comes in, that'll give us our direction. Maybe we go lower, maybe we go higher. I kind of would think we'd go a little higher, maybe up to this one, because Bitcoin likes its 1618 more than it does its 1414, but it does like the 1414 at times as well. Maybe we see a move up to about 37 to 40K, probably closer to that 37 mark, and then we see a major pullback. I do expect this month of November to be very volatile, you guys. I'm probably going to end the stream soon, just so you guys know, so you're aware as well. He just tweeted stranger in a strange land, then XRP pumped. Huh. Yeah, but dude, there's a lot of things pumping right now, and I don't know. What does that have to do with XRP? What am I missing? Let's see XRP USD right now. I mean, it pumped 3% in the last 4 hours there, and then over the coming days it's pumped a lot more than that. But there's been a lot of things pumping right now too. Who knows? I don't know, unless that's like a reference to XRP specifically. Stranger in a strange land. I don't know. XRP is not a stranger in crypto, so I don't know what the reference would be. But back to Bitcoin again, man. To wrap things up here, it wouldn't be crazy if we went higher. It wouldn't be crazy if we had one last little pump with less volume to kind of signal that we are showing exhaustion. It might be smaller, a weaker move, if you will, further promoting this bearish divergence, right? We are looking, man, we look very constructive, but if this is like an ascending channel, you're definitely at the ends of your limits. You can only go so high, and you can't go above 100. So at some point, you're going to have to break this. That is probably when we'll see this drop of November coming into play. If you guys haven't seen the video that I made on November drops, I would definitely recommend watching my. You can go back through my videos. It's the Bitcoin November analysis one. It has it's like the red picture with the bear clawing at Bitcoin. I think that is relevant to what we're experiencing now. You know, we could definitely go up in the meantime, but there's still a whole lot of month left, man. We can move down very quickly and then still come back up and have a relatively neutral month. Like we could close down here, you know, that's possible too, but if we had to move all the way down here, that's just a higher low in this like series of higher lows right here. It wouldn't be a problem. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if we move up first before seeing that. I do think we're going to see some kind of a dramatic drop in Bitcoin and most cryptos this month of November. That's why I'm happily sitting on the sidelines with a decent bag of cash. Most of my crypto, I think I'm at like 70% or 80% allocation right now. I forget. Yeah, like 75% probably. And I'm definitely planning on buying more, but I'm not going to FOMO here. A lot of these things have gone up, and I'm kind of patiently waiting. And this November analysis that I was talking about, if you watch that video, it kind of illuminates as to why I think that we're going to go lower, man. Every November that we've seen for Bitcoin, there's been like a total of 4 out of 14 Novembers that have not dropped more than 20%. The other 10 Novembers have dropped greater than 26%. And then of the halvings, the Novembers that predate the halving, like so the first halving that was in 2012. The November of 2011 had a big drop. It was like greater than 30% or 40%, something like that. The November before the next halving also saw a big drop. The November before the last halving also saw a big drop. Here we are in this November before the next halving. Statistically speaking, we're not at the point in time where it would make sense to have a less than 20% drop in a November. So, you know, with that, that's kind of scary, because at the current price, if we are to take like this week into consideration here, a 26% drop, which would be at the minimum, that would take you to about $26,000. That would take you all the way back down. All this work that we worked so hard to get out of this zone for, we could go all the way back down here. But overall, it would be a higher low. If we were to do something a little bit more dramatic, we could even see something that's greater than 30%. You know, you could see a move that takes you back down still. 22K to 24K is totally at play. We could go lower than this, and in classic Bitcoin fashion, man, when everybody's bullish, back to the crypto fear and greed index, when we're the most bullish sentiment that we've had in a year's time, we turn around and then we have a lower low, oh so slightly, just enough to scare people and be like, oh, that's it, it's going back to 20K, bull market's fucked. That's when we pump, you know, something like that. But we might not even do that. We might overall form a higher low. We might not have this dramatic drop in November. I'm just saying, man, statistically speaking, from a time-based analysis, from a month-based analysis, with November specifically, and the fact that this is the November right before the halving, things do not look good. We're probably going to see some kind of drop throughout crypto. A lot of stuff's pumping right now. It's exciting. It's nice to see. Maybe good profit-taking zones. A lot of stuff does look like it wants to go up a little bit higher. But if you have any cash sitting on the side, it might not be smart to FOMO right now. Right? It's not good to chase the tops ever, but especially right now with the current circumstances that are going on for November. Again, if you want to know more of what I'm talking about, if you go... let me just type it in, I guess, YouTube right here, because I see I got some new people in the chart, or in the room, in the chat room. If you go to this video right here, this one, this will kind of explain why I expect November to have some kind of dramatic drop. I'm not coming out of left field with this. This is actually based on statistical data taken through like historical references with Bitcoin. And it just makes sense, man. If you watch that video, I know it's long, but it's definitely, I think, a worthy one to watch. I don't know if I got anything else I want to say, guys. For everybody that's come here, thank you so much. Like, I really appreciate all of you. hit the 1,000 subscriber mark. It's a big milestone, man. We're only going to grow from here. Yeah, I'm blessed, I'm happy, and thank you all for being here. I don't think I have anything else I want to say. I know I ended it on a bearish note, but I would think that there is some continuation left for most of crypto, but within this month, man, within the month of November, we are probably going to see a dramatic drop, like something that is, for Bitcoin, 26% or more. For altcoins, something that's 34% or more on average. That doesn't mean every coin's going to drop that much. It doesn't mean every coin's going to drop. And some coins are going to even drop more. But, you know, everything does its own thing. This is just like on an average. But on average, altcoins will drop 34%. I have a video on that as well right here. The altcoins are in trouble video. They're right next to each other if you want to watch them. They go well together. This one's kind of a condensed version of this video, just with more pertaining to altcoins. But again, guys, if we weren't to see a drop that's like 26% in this month or more, that would be an outlier in the historical data that we have presented in front of us. So looking on Coinbase here, as far as the volume goes, we're moving up, but we don't have a whole lot of volume. It is increasing, but it's a lot less volume than we've experienced before. A move like this, with a move that comes all the way back down, it scares people. We could promote a lot of volume down there that could send us to our new all-time highs, right? Something like that. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm running in circles. There's one more thing I'll add. One more thing I'll add before I finish. For anybody that's feeling like FOMOing right now, like you want to buy, you want to get in, you don't want to miss the opportunity, screw it. If it goes lower, I'll just hold. You know, if you mean that, cool. Do what you want to do. It's your money. You know, I'm not a financial advisor, but those are some famous last words, man. Anybody that has ever said, if it goes lower from here, fine, I'll just hold. Well, fine, it will go lower and it will test you, and you will, even though you hold down here and it comes up inevitably, and you'll still feel good about it regardless. When it is down here, you're gonna be like, man, I wish I was just a little bit more patient, because all it took was a week or two, and now it's at a 20% discount. I could have gotten it at a better price. I definitely think that situation is possible, even likely, given the circumstances that we're in. It's not a good time to FOMO in. I think it is a good time to be patient. There's nothing wrong with waiting, you know. And if you can't wait, if you want to throw your money into something, throw it into something that hasn't taken off yet. Throw it in on a coin that you like, that you've wanted to invest in. Maybe you are invested in it, but it hasn't popped off yet. Throw it into that coin, because it's better to buy something that's yet to pop off than something that stands to lose more ground if Bitcoin was to take a shit from here. But I don't know. Those are just, you know, again, not financial advice, just my opinion, what I would do, what I am doing. Not a good time to get into the markets. It's a good time to take profits. It's a good time to sit on your hands too. You know, I'm not selling any of my coins. I'm definitely not an advocate for selling. But if you're trading, if you're a trader, it's definitely good areas of take profit zones, right? We're at the like most bullish that we've been on the crypto fear and greed index in a long time. So before I keep repeating myself, that's it. I'm gonna end the stream there. Thank you all for coming. Take care. I'll see you on the next ones. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye.